Now, the question of the day is, are the Chicago Bulls primed for a playoff spot next season? The first step, the best step they could have taken was finally firing Jim Boylan out of there. It was his time. It was up. I don't even know how they hired him. I don't know why they hired him. I don't know if they even looked to hire a head coach after they fired Fred Hoiberg. But it was just time, man. He just didn't fluctuate with that team. He had all those young guys, but he didn't treat them like a team. He just had favoritism. He didn't give players the minutes they deserve. It was just a waste of time for those guys. And firing him was the first step. Next step was hiring an official head coach, and Billy Donovan was the guy. I think Billy Donovan is the perfect guy. I think that he can establish a culture on that team. I think being with Chris Paul and seeing how he handles things and how he can handle talking to guys, I think that taught him, in a sense, how to really talk to the young guys. And I think that he can establish something there, man. I think he is the right guy to propel them to a playoff spot. They have the talent, man. They have it all, bro. Like, they could do something, especially next year if they work together and they're healthy. Because last year they weren't healthy. Their wing position was very, very depleted. Otto Porter was gone. Chandler Hutchison wasn't there. He came later in the season before COVID hit, but it wasn't enough, man. Kobe White, he's a pretty decent guy. He came in the game, wasn't really making shots when he first came in. He had some on and off games. But towards the end of the season, he started taking off, man. He was making threes, making step backs, getting his own. I think he's a future point guard for that team. I don't think they should try to draft a point guard this upcoming season. Now, the second question is Zach LaVine that guy? I think so. One reason, he was the leading scorer on that team despite dealing with Jim Boylan. He had to deal with a lot with him, no doubt. All those arguments on the bench, complaining on the court with him. But despite all of that, he still managed to average 24 plus a game. If he has a good coach on the squad, I think he's capable of doing something serious next season. I could see a possible 28-point game season. He's still a young player. He's very athletic. He could get his own basket. He's that guy, man. There's no question about it. Now, for draft night, when it comes to the Chicago Bulls, their main need is a 3. They really, really need a wing. Otto Porter is getting up there in age. He was hurt all last season. They need somebody there that can be able to have their minutes and build their confidence up and build their experience up and establish a culture there and do something with that team. I think the first option, if he's not gone off the boards, is Deni Avdija. He's a very good player, man. I think he could provide some wing depth. He's only 19. He's an international player, so he actually has some fundamental to this game. It's not just athleticism. He can shoot the 3-ball. He can get to the basket. He's very multi-dimensional as a wing. The second option will be Isaac Okoro based on potential. He's very defensive-minded, but if his offense comes around, then he could be a potential star, believe it or not. I've seen a lot of comparisons to Justice Winslow and Jimmy Butler. I see it, no doubt about that. A school like Auburn is very underrated when it comes to developing guys. Believe it or not, they have a pretty decent basketball program over there. They could do something over there, man. The third option would be Aaron Nesmith or Neesmith. With him, it's kind of the same situation with Darius Garland last season. They came from the same school, Vanderbilt. Darius Garland took off when he was playing, but he got hurt early in the season. Same thing with Aaron Neesmith. The dude can shoot the ball, man. He's coming off of pin downs in college. I haven't seen that really before, honestly. That's kind of crazy. He's coming off of pin downs, making threes 52% or more from 3 in college. That's crazy. And they're contested threes at that. He's dribbling. He can get his own basket. He averaged over 20 a night in college as a freshman on top of that. and they project him going late in the lottery. I honestly believe he's a top 10 player, if anything. I don't know why he's slipping so far just based off of injury, but I guess he's just not a household name, but it is what it is. And the safest pick would be Devin Vassell. The dude can shoot the three. He's a prototypical 3-and-D wing, no doubt about that. But yeah, man, he's the safest pick, man. He doesn't really have that much to his game. He could slash to the rim. He could get his own basket, but he's very good on defense. He knows where to be. He knows what to do. He gets his steals. He gets blocks. Yeah, man, he's your safest pick if you're not trying to force something. If you're not trying to develop your guys all right now, then I'll say you pick him. Now, with Larry Markkanen's situation, I think he wants to be there. It's just that Jim Boylen forced him to want to leave. I don't blame him. Like, Jim Boylen didn't give him the minutes he deserved. He tried to minimize his minutes for whatever reason. Maybe he didn't do something in practice that he liked. I mean, finally he's out of there, so I don't believe that Larry Markkinen will have a problem being there anymore. I think he wants to develop with those guys and build something there. I think he wants to be a star player there, which I potentially see him being. With the Chicago Bulls, man, I could see them being a 6 to 8 seed, no doubt about that. Their ceiling is a 6 seed, and their floor is an 8 seed or a 9 seed or whatever, and they just miss the playoffs by a few games. I think Billy Donovan will establish a culture there. I think he's that guy to do it. And yeah, man, I think they could do something next year, no doubt. If they pick the right guy from the draft, then that's just a plus.